This Sunday. Every Sunday. Side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here! Relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gas, mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands for the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
All right, you may not be out on the highway, you may be on the byways or the local roads, but you've tuned in to Long Island's only automotive talk show, Motormouth Radio, with your hosts Ray Guarino, Chris Switzer, and our newly retired, newest member of the Long Island Romeo Club. We have Gerard from Rolling Thunder Cycles. How are you, Gerard and Chris, both of you boys?
Thank you very much, Ray. Great.
How's everything?
And also probably going to spend more time on this program. Hope.
That would be nice.
Gonna pry him back into the studio again.
Yeah.
Get to see that fountain of knowledge come in here and raise the coolness factor of this program about another 10 or 15%. Gerard, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I miss you.
True. Hi, Chris. I'm doing very well. Thank you. And you too. How are you? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's great. I'm just, I'm annoyed as usual, just automotively. The same way I've been for the last 20 plus years. I'm taking the Joe D dictum here. I hate cars. I hate people with cars. I'm gonna ride a horse.
There you go.
That's the way to do it.
I've gotten to that point. Right now. It is just amazing. Right now, the people that have been annoying me the most on the road are middle school parents that are picking up their children from school.
Yeah, you should stay off the road. I know you Connecticutites.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I'm so glad I drive a police car, a decommissioned police car, because they lose their minds. People who lose their minds, I'm like, just go, get out of my way, go, make a U-turn in front of me. I don't care. Just get the heck out of my way.
That I've been doing that, and my wife and I, we kind of learned that that's our dictum now. We know, like, okay, get off the road by like 2 or 3 o'clock because the school buses are out, and it's like you don't want to get caught up in that. You want to be either before or after it. It really is, especially around here. It's nutty.
Yes, exactly. So, Gerard, how's the retired motorcycle business?
Well, it's
walk away from bikes like, I'm done with this forever.
Well, no. My wife and I both ride. We have our own motorcycles, so I'm not going to get rid of it. But it was just we felt
you just have to.
44 and a half years was enough, So
how many?
44 and a half years.
Oh my gosh!
Just round it up to 45.
Sure, you should.
Yeah,
you should.
And, bottom line is that I've always told that you'll know when it's time to retire, and they were right. It was time to retire.
How'd you know? What was it? What was the X that fell?
Well, I don't know. One of the things I'll tell you, I'll put it to you this way. One of the things I don't miss, okay, is that every day I'd have to look at the weather.
Right.
So I had 3 weather apps on my phone because if it was going to rain tomorrow, I needed to know what bikes to bring into the shop, set up the guy's work so that there would be, these bikes would be easily accessible, what bikes to do today, what bikes to do tomorrow, And then this way, I wouldn't have to move the bikes around into bad weather. And now it hailed the other day, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about the weather anymore.
It's the little things. It really is. It's that became one of my retirement joys. The biggest one. I'd sit out on the deck in the afternoon, especially in the summer, and around 4:30, 5 o'clock, have the radio on, and you'd hear the traffic report. And yeah, let me hear about the BQE. I want to know what's going on in the LIE. Yeah, you suckers. It's like, boy, it's jammed back to the cross line. Excellent.
And the Southern State is, you can't move on the Southern State Parkway after like 1:30, 2 o'clock. So even road testing was problematic.
Oh my
God! The time when you were going to go out, and so is it going to rain at 1? Do I have to get out before 1? Or
yeah.
Is the guy going to come pick up his bike before that? After that, so it wasn't really an axe that dropped. It was just a matter of time.
That was it.
If we should tell the people, if you want to talk to Gerard, get in on this, you can call us at 516-572-7440 or text us at.
You could text us at 203-670-4127. Get that finger out of wherever you have it and text us.
And I tell you what, follow us on social media, Motormouth Radio on X and Facebook, and it's _Motormouth Radio on Instagram. YouTube channels, it's Motormouth Radio and Motormouth Video. And this week, the channels were neck and neck. We did well on both channels, maybe because I had a picture of Frank Dominiani in a number 69 Corvette race car as the picture. And it was
all right.
It was a red car, too, so I broke the YouTube rule. But we did a little better this week with Frank's stuff. So I want to show you, I'll give you a little teaser as to what the lead will be this week. I got I was expecting an order from Macho Man Brian. I get tools interstate these days. It's like I don't do local, and I expected a box. I kind of figured what size it was going to be. I was also expecting to get a replacement car cover for my Fiat, which is kind of small. And my wife says, "Oh, there's a box that side for you." And I look at him like, "Whoa, that's a lot bigger than the car cover or the tool order should be. What the heck is that?" And it's
very nice when you get a big box.
Well, I went to pick it up. I almost got a big hernia. I was like, How heavy is this thing? It was the tool order. Brian likes to throw extra stuff in, and there was extra hardware in there. He gets hardware from these shops they cast it off, and it's really, really good hardware. And he sent me a 10-pound bag of hardware.
Wow.
So
wait, Ray, did he put a broken fluorescent lamp bulb in the box? Did he do like some people?
Oh, that was done already.
I know that may be in the studio right now.
I wonder if the fluorescent lamp was broken with the bumper jack that he still has of mine that I haven't gotten back yet. That someday will be reclaimed. No, but so I have something to share with Macho Man Brian, because I know this was a hot seller on his truck. He didn't send this to me, but
he sent you hot and spicy beef jerky
from Buc-ee's.
Wow.
Now,
that goes out the same way it goes in. You know that, right?
Well, like I said, I didn't get that from Brian. I actually got that from Mike at the shop yesterday.
Oh.
Mike he was down, he went to Florida, and he stopped at a Buc-ee's. We were talking about it, and he got me a couple of pounds of coffee that I could try at Buc-ee's and Tim Hortons, and the beef jerky, because I understand they have the largest beef jerky selection in the world at Buc-ee's. So
that's something to behold.
Yeah, so.
Mm-hmm. But I do remember a time where you walked in with I think it was a torque converter cover from and I think Gerard was it? Because I know Gerard had sent it to you in a box.
No, it was the bell housing.
The bell housing.
That's on my car now for the transmission. Yeah, and Gerard, I left it at the shop. You cleaned it in the hot seat machine,
right.
And I think you brought it to me. You dropped it off the house, but when I shook the box, it was sounded like broken plates. Like, what the heck? And there was a broken. I guess it was a fluorescent tube or whatever that was all busted up and put in a bag. And it was like, here's your part. And then, oh no, my God, what is it? And
I think somebody else did that.
Yeah, it was just kind of a psychic. Chris remembered that. That was pretty good.
Because I thought that was brilliant. I'm still crediting you with it, Gerard.
Well, you can't, but that's not my style. But I know whose style that is.
Right, that's the guy with the bumper jack. That's whose style is. Right. So, give us a call. 516-572-7440. Get in on the fun. Talk to Gerard. Ask him a question, please, because we're almost out of answers for stuff that we.
Yeah, exactly. John just texted us at 203-670-4127. And what does he say? He says a lot. That's what John does. He sends pictures. He says an awful lot. He says that's why they call it parkways. He says in the UK it's called a driveway. That when we were talking about roads back about 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
How subjects move quickly on this show.
I always wondered why we drive on a parkway, but we park on a driveway.
Exactly. But I have to tell you, you guys in Long Island are just getting saturated with traffic. It is just insane what's going on there. So much so that I used to laugh up here and go, ha ha ha, you plebeians driving bumper to bumper down there. You know, it's just terrible what you're going through. Now they're all coming up here.
It does spread. It does.
All up here now. Yes.
I want to tell Chris, one of the things that I was going to miss about closing the shop was the inspection machine.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's just very convenient, you know, to be able to do inspections. And I know that Mike used to have a mobile mechanics inspection station, right? You know, a mobile mechanic repair. He'd come out to your house and fix your bike or fix your car or whatever.
Oh, Mikey T.
Mikey T, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, I wonder if I couldn't keep the machines. And so I called DMV in Albany. And I said to the guy, listen, you know, we have the inspection machine. We're going to have to turn it in. Is there a possibility that we could, you know, mount this into a van? You know, I have customers that maybe can't get the bike inspected. And with the new laws, if your bike hasn't been inspected in 12 months, they will not renew your registration. Oh. So you have to get your bike inspected in the past 12 months. Now, in January 2024, all New York State motorcycle inspections went online. Prior to that, you just, you know, get an inspection, you punch a hole in the sticker, you stick it on the motorcycle, and off you go. So now everything has to be done into the DMV computer in Albany. So I call Albany Inspection Department. I say, well, how can we do that? Can we, you know, make a service where we could provide, you know, customers that maybe can't get out or, you know, just whatever reasons they're not riding this year, but they want to be able to keep their bike inspected so that, you know, they won't worry that registration won't lapse. And the guy said, wow, that's a really good idea. No. Well, I said, well, before you shoot it down, because I'm not one to let it go, you know, so before you shoot it down, well, just think about it. You know, some guys won't be able to get their registrations renewed if the bike is, I know, it's a really good idea. No.
Government bureaucracy at its best.
That's as far as we got with that idea.
Sounds like dealing with the state to me.
Are there any tools that you decided to keep, or you just sold it all off?
Well, I'm sure, like you, Ray, we all have our own tools that we use all the time. But our guys, Peter and Richie, who are mechanics, they split the tools in the shop between the two of them, and they're going to go on to do their own thing. Like, I kind of picture it this way. Like, we moved the corporate offices to my house. Yeah. And now we have 2 satellite repair facilities, one in Nassau and one in Suffolk County.
There you go.
And so if you need your bike fixed, you can call the shop. I kept the shop phone number open. I kept the shop, you know, website open. And you can call the shop and we'll give you their contact information so that you can continue to have the same service that you got. Just don't have to talk to me.
So, what about the people that, like me, that call that want to talk to you? Like, what are they going to do? Oh, what are these people going to do who call on the phone? Let's find out. Let me do this. Let's go to the phones in the fun and say, hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths and Gerard.
Hello, Ray. Hello, Chris and Gerard.
Hello, John. What's up?
Hey, John.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Ray. Gerard, I met you with Ray. I remember coming over to the shop. Oh, my God. I probably still had hair.
It was in the 80s, probably, yeah.
Yeah, it had to be. But,
great memory, John.
On the retirement, enjoy it. It doesn't suck.
That's what I keep hearing. So
yeah.
I'm hoping I have the same reaction.
Well, you've been kind of living vicariously through.
Curve is trying to figure out what to do when you get up in the morning. You don't have to go to work anymore, so you got to sort of make a list of, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. But the beauty of it is, if you don't get to it,
And that's exactly what I've been counseled. You get up in the morning and you have a couple of things you might want to do. And if you get to them, great. And if you don't get to them, great.
I'll tell you what, guys, I do it a little different. I get up in the morning and I do a systems check. I'm going to take a shower, but what I do is I want to walk around the house first. I check out the front door, I just want to make sure like the legs are working. I can move under my own power. I don't need any kind of assistance. I actually set up the coffee pot so when I come out, it's ready to go. And then I'll go take my shower and come out and watch leave it to Viva with my wife for an hour, and then.
Yeah, but you haven't retired long enough. I've been out of the picture 13 years now.
Yeah.
And yeah, some days, if I had the coffee pot set, it'd probably be cold some days because I just roll over and go, yeah, it's raining.
Yeah, I never do that. I was sleeping a little later, but I found that now my patterns are constantly changing. In the last 2 weeks, I'm still staying up at the same time at night, but I'm getting up at earlier now in the morning. It's like 6:37. I'm like, I don't want to be up now. And I try to go back to sleep, but I sleep so well. I'm using this Dopey CPAP machine, right? I sleep so well that when I get up, my body doesn't need to go back to sleep. It's awake. It's like, no, you've had enough. We're rested. I'm like, no. So, yeah, we'll see, John. It's a work in progress, but.
Ray, I forgot who sang the song. It's a hard habit to break.
Yes. Yeah, it is, I guess. But yeah, you know what? Every day is a new day. Just take it as it comes, roll with it. That's all.
Yep, I completely agree.
Got it.
But yeah, the Parkway driveway thing. The UK speaks a different English.
Yeah.
But it made sense to me when I went. Yeah, I park on the Parkway.
You park on the driveway.
Drive on the driveway. But
you're the guy that parked on the Parkway. Oh, I was behind him.
No, God bless the Americans. I guess we knew our roads better than the people in the UK because when you're on the Southern State, it's a parkway.
It is.
Yeah.
I call it the Southern State parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like now they're saying the people that are in Queens, they say they're from Valley Queens. The people who are over in that last town over there in Nassau, they say, no, they're from
Valley Queens.
Valley Queens.
It's that. I just heard that this week. That just popped up in the feed this week. So, all right, John. Well, thanks for the call. We appreciate it, and stay loose.
And you as well, Ray.
You got it.
Gerard, again, huge congratulations.
Thank you,
Enjoy
John.
your retirement.
Thank you.
All right, John. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All righty. So you can be like John. Give us a call at 516-572-7440. Talk about stuff. So apparently closing a business is maybe as hard as or harder than opening one. Is that what I hear these days?
Oh, no, it's definitely easy to open one.
Yeah.
And it's to close one.
Right. That's what I heard.
Well, all the I's you have to dot and T's you have to cross are, you don't really realize how involved it is. Like all the insurances that you have on the business that have to be canceled, and then they send you audits because you didn't pay the whole year. You're paying it on a monthly basis, and then you have accounting. Not only do you have to, pay the sales, like for instance, October sales tax is due in November, and then you have W-2 forms for the employees have to be completed, and it just goes on and on. You have the landlord has to come and inspect the property before you get your security deposit back.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So it's interesting. It's interesting. I've never closed them before, so this is all new to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. Something just popped up on my phone, and we talk about the WHPC app. I do a read for it. I don't have to do it today, but I do it. We do that constantly, and you can win this contest and all. My phone just alerted me that Motormouth Radio now is live, and when I clicked on that, it opened the WHPC app and brought the show up. So I encourage people. Yes, we do it when I do the read to download the app. It'll tell you when we're on it. It gets a little late now. It's like 12:19, but. I don't know. Maybe that came through sooner. I didn't see.
Now the cell phone stuff is really in its infancy.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a fad. That's all.
Yeah.
Mine is still steam powered.
The tricorder worked much better. It's a lot better.
Right. So what, Gerard, what good news have you heard after the close? Like, did you hear anyone come up to you and give you some pros or some great statement or some what stands out in the last 2 weeks? What people have said to you?
Well, we did do a social media notification to let people know, and the response was really pretty impressive. I didn't think so many people liked us, but everybody does.
Oh, you know that.
And so yeah, we had some great accolades, and everybody saying, "Well, it's not so good for us, but good for you," and that kind of stuff. And well, who's going to fix my bike? I said, well, we have people that are going to fix your bike. We're not, we're closing the shop, and you got access to repairs just as well as you always did before. So
I'll go on record as saying, and maybe you never see things the same as other people do. So, but Rolling Thunder Cycles has been the pre-ultimate motorcycle shop for Harley Davidsons and for good guy service for quite a long time.
Yeah,
and. I don't think I've ever heard a bad word about the shop. And I know years ago, I know you were going through always trying to do different things marketing wise, and talking about destination sites and doing events and all. But even though you weren't a destination site, maybe like you had thought, it was a destination. Because even for myself, when I'd be driving around, like, hey, you know what? Let me stop by and just see what's going on. Just say hi, just stop in. It's a comfortable place. You know it. You know the people. You know the walls. You know the place. You get to see a new album on the wall, maybe, or something. Or there was always something,
Yeah.
And it was just a comfortable place. Like when you want to go to your favorite diner, or your favorite, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I like to do that. You go stop at places because.
Now we've had customers, even customers from out of state. Listen, I'm up visiting my brother, and I had to come and say hello.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So, and that's a good feel. It makes you feel good that maybe you did it right.
Yeah.
So
people who are visiting have one, buy-in with that. Of course, you're sitting there at work and saying, "Yeah, I'd love to talk to you, but I got all these, I got this work. My God, really, it's kind of inconvenient. I guess at times it would be." But again, there's always different sides of the story. It's whose eyes you're seeing it through. But
And to that extent, once we did announce that we were going to be retiring at the end of October, we had customers we hadn't seen in a long time that went out of their way to come and see us. So I got to see you before I got to tell you congratulations, good luck, hope everything goes well. And meantime, we're trying to pack up the lathe and the milling machine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're in the middle of a big project,
But it was touching to have so many people come out just because they wanted to say hello last time. I said, well, I'm not going to be dead. I said, I'll probably see you on the road because now I'm going to ride my own bike instead of everybody else's.
Yeah.
And you'll see me driving around.
Right. No, but you know what? You guys had a lot of really good parties, and the Christmas party was legendary for many, many years. I mean, that was literally a legendary party going back to the older days.
Yeah.
I mean, because let's face it, you started in the business, in the motorcycle business, in the 70s.
Yeah.
Right?
Real early. Yeah, I was working with Paul at Iron Horse.
Right, and you just kind of carried that on to. Then you went to Harley, right? And and the people just followed you, right to Rolling Thunder Cycles. It was all the same crew. But people have asked me, well, gee, why is he closing? And I say, it's kind of like the car business. Back in the day, when they opened, everybody was building and working on their own bikes and cars. I said, and you'd go to someone's house and, maybe to just say hi, and then you're in the middle of a transmission job, and you're in there with them. Now you're just swinging a train or an engine.
Well, you remember we used to have a ticket number system, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Take number system. What was that?
So, you go to a bakery and take a number for something.
Oh, that. Oh, I thought I'm thinking something totally different.
No.
Yeah.
So at one time, probably in the 80s when it was just, everybody was working on everything, and it was all shovel heads and iron head sportsters, so they all needed to be worked on.
Right.
We'd have so many people come in on a Saturday instead of having one guy stay down and say, take a number, we'll get to you as soon as we get to your number. And then people could walk around, they could look at the T-shirts, they could look at the leathers, and then you call their number, they come over and you help them.
Well, and that was the thing, especially when you were on at 195. That store was big. There was, I think back to how it didn't seem as big at the time. I don't know why. That place was big, and it was just a whole leather room, and literally, it was a room of leather. It was like, what?
Oh yeah, the inventory we had was really amazing. I look at pictures now. We have some pictures on the website too. But it's really was the peak of the season. But like everything else, things changed, and the internet came along, and so now you can just buy that stuff online. So we didn't have to stock as much parts.
There were toys we made in China. I remember exactly, but yeah, you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So things have changed. You can change. Give us a call, 516-572-7440. Get in on the phone and talk to Gerard. And but that all leads to to really good memories, and at the end of the day, that's what life is about, because everybody's story changes, and it's always good to have good stories at the end and to be that guy. Like I can imagine some people who are real dirtbags their whole life. I guess when they're in their 60s, 70s, and if they make it to their 80s, all they have to think about is like, man, I screwed a lot of people, like, how come no one's coming to visit me? Well, there you go. So it's good to be on the other side of that.
Definitely a lot of history there. Definitely a lot of history. So.
Yeah.
Has it gotten to that point, Gerard, where I know it's gotten to that point with cars where newer cars are almost impossible to fix, and if they are, the prices are astronomical. Has the same thing happened with bikes where they're not as serviceable as they were 20 years ago, 10, 20 years ago?
Well, they don't need as much service, but they are as serviceable. So we had all the software was necessary to communicate with the bikes through the data port. So you could run all the diagnostic trouble codes to see what was going on, and you know, narrow down where the problem was rather than just throwing parts at it. So
diagnostics instead of the parts cannon.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was definitely available to us, and it wasn't the Harley; it was aftermarket software that was available. So so it wasn't that you couldn't work on them. It just, you know, Harley just would redesign something. You just have to catch up with them and get the manuals for them.
Just like the cars, just like in the car world. Yeah. You know, they make
And
it.
They just don't
Did that affect business at all?
Well, it did and it did. Like, for instance, you don't have to just do repairs to make money. So you're not constantly repairing the new bikes because they're pretty dependable. But you'll have a guy that says, you know, these handlebars aren't quite comfortable for me. So I'd like to make them a little bit taller, a little bit closer to me, or maybe I want to black out the bike. So I've had customers that come in that we take the whole bike apart and anything that was chrome, we changed it to black. Or another customer, anything that was black, they changed it to chrome. So, you know, people personalize. It was a personalized business. It's what you wanted to do to your motorcycles. We don't need motorcycles. We want motorcycles.
Right.
And so it was fun to do. It was always fun to do.
And I remember when the Evo engine came out. We're going back now. We're going to go back in time.
1984.
That was a big learning curve, and things had to change. And you're like, how do I get these push rods out? Oh, what does the factory say? A bolt cutter. Like, what? But I mean, there was a learning curve. And when the twin cam came out, I remember there was a whole big thing with the guides, you know, the chain guides and the twin cams. That was a big, and you guys just learned and moved through it. You know?
Oh yeah. Chain tensioners, and then Harley developed. They went from a mechanical chain tension to hydraulic chain tension, so they solved that problem. It took them 7 years, but they solved that problem. And the Milwaukee 8 motors, that's a new motor after 2019. It's just so much fun to ride, and they got the bikes down. They're really minimalistic. So they're fairly light, they're low to the ground. You can hold them up easily and have a ton of torque, just a ton of torque on them. They're fun to ride. So
it's so funny that has become a feature. You could hold it up easily.
Well, some of them were not so easy to hold up.
That's what I mean. But when you were like, what, 20, 30, 40 years old, didn't matter.
Right. Well,
now it's like
so popular now. So. Yeah.
Yeah,
they get, 800-pound motorcycles. They get a little hard to push around after a while.
Yeah,
I believe it. I've always said, and I still say it to this day, to get in and out of a car without making a noise.
You know, to that point, I was at the shop a couple times during the week, and we had to move. Last week, they had the C4 Corvette in on the lift. We had to do a little.
That's a good noisemaker, getting in that car.
Mike's trying to sell it, so we had to push it out into its spots. So there were like 4 guys, and Mike says, "Okay, he points to me, you get in and steer it." I'm like, me? And to get in a C4 Corvette, Gerard, they say you fall into it and you climb out of it. Because the footwell is like almost a foot lower than the sill plate.
Yeah.
You got to get in and drop down. I'm like, oh my God.
So I'm wondering if it's the same for motorcycles, like, you know, getting your leg over it. I'm sure there's a lot of noises there.
Well,
you don't side saddle it.
No,
it depends on if you get the leg over the seat the first try.
And if you have sciatica, that's what took me out, was mid arch of the leg. That's when the sciatic nerve would pang, and your leg would lock, and you're in just immense pain. You're like, oh no, it's like bad timing. I'll tell you
I love it. This show has become the AARP of automotive and motorcycle knowledge.
Well, yeah, we used to talk about compression ratios, right? Then it got to be the point where, well, when your plants bloom, okay, and you know, when you take care of the yard, you got the house, and now it's like, okay, well, what medicines are you taking?
What statin are you taking today? Yeah. What do you do for a shoulder? You know, I got a little, Well, I'll tell you what we do in this show at the bottom of the hour. We do the weather. So it's my job to say your WHPC weather forecast is powered by Pantano's Gourmet with locations in Hewlett and Uniondale. We have to go there one day, Gerard. They have good bagels. We'll have to go and chew on a couple.
All right.
And as I look out the WHPC weather window, I see that it's a hit, a mixture of sun and clouds today. Gusty winds. We did have some winds, yes. Boy, we got a big forecast here today. They say more winds developing in the afternoon, rain. Oh, we had some rain overnight, too. That was kind of I heard that in the middle of the night. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. High of 56 is exactly what it was when we came in. Temperatures dropping to near 45. I heard it's going to get colder during the week. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low near 35. So keep an eye on that where you are. And the best of Long Island. This is something that's going on here at the station and throughout the...
It's not the traffic.
No, that's definitely never the best.
No.
It's a holiday. WHBC has won the Best of Long Island award for 4 years in a row now. 4 years. Now the four-leaf Best of Long Island Award voting is open for 2026. Rolling Thunder would have earned that spot easily if they were open.
We did.
In 26.
Best of Long Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one of those.
Exactly. You deserve it too. Like I said, you'd have it in 26 again, I'm sure. Maybe you could because the store was open in 25, so maybe we could do that. So visit thebestoflongisland.com or follow the link on the left side of the WHPC app that I just mentioned earlier and vote once a day, every day, now through December 15th for WHPC is the best radio station and Rolling Thunder Cycles is the best motorcycle repair shop.
Used to be.
Well, yeah, you could win it for 26 because you were in business in 25 for almost a whole year. So why not? You qualify.
10 months.
And while you're there, please vote for Nassau Community College as the best college, with Dr. Maria Conzati as the best college president, who they just voted would not. They just want her out now, but that's another story. And Nassau Community College for the best sports program on Long Island. When are we going to get the best automotive program on Long Island? That'd be nice. I don't know if we're going to do that.
Not going to happen.
Thank you for supporting WHPC, Nassau Community College, and Rolling Thunder Cycles, which leads us into the honor group of the hour, Chris.
Yes, right now I'm busy. I'm reading a text from Joe the Undertaker at 203-670-4127. He says, bad joints and hips is why I had to step through maxi scooters. Not impressive, but they got him around.
Sure. Yeah, that'll work.
That'll work. But yes, we also have the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. And this week, the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour, if you look at a vehicle and instantly know that it's owned by a dog owner. You take one look at the side of the car and you see the nose smudges dotting the rear window or the spray of drool on the quarter panel. Some subtle hints can also give it away, like dusting of dog hair on the upholstery, a rumpled old blanket, or a well-worn chew toy in the rear seat. And of course, the lingering scent of countless park trips mixed with the aroma of wet fur permeate as you get closer to the vehicle. These owners don't see it as automotive damage. Their cars are mobile playgrounds, nap zones, and adventure shuttles. So if you can identify a dog owner's vehicle, or if you have sacrificed your car's condition to continually chauffeur your furry passenger around from adventure to adventure, then you are part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour this week.
Nice.
There you go. Something totally unrelated. Hey, and if you also have an honor group idea, you can write us, right, Ray?
Yes.
Might as well.
Yes.
Because I'm running out of ideas.
Good idea. All right, so we're going to go back with a blast from the past here for Gerard, because this is to honor him today. We already started a little. And we'll be back with more Motormouth Radio with Ray Guarino, Chris Switzer, and Gerard from Rolling Thunder Cycles in the minute. Keep it where you
Previously of Rolling Thunder Cycles.
Yeah.
Formerly.
Formerly.
Keep it where you got it on 90.3 WHPC.
Back now, and receive is our gift to you. They come in all colors, one size fits all. No muss, no fuss, no spills. You tired of kitchen drudgery? Everything must go. Going out of business, going out of business, going out of business. Sale. 50% off original retail price.
We'll be back with answers to your car questions. Give us a call at 516-572-7440. Oh, I should have said the Motormouth thing.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services: 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar lifetime nationwide warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
Corman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my buddies at, what's the name of it again?
Motormouth Radio.
Hey, Mark Corman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my friends at Motormouth Radio. Sunday morning, I don't know what this fat bald guy's laughing about. You'll forget stuff soon enough too, my friend. Be sure to listen. When are you guys on? 10 a.m.?
Sundays at noon.
Noon on Sundays.
Excellent. This was
no, that's you got the promo. The best one was the first one. That's why I was because you said, what was the name of this again? That's the promo.
What better presentation could you do than that?
Hey, you, get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motormouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
That's to quit smoking. It's a friend, it's a companion, it's the only product you will ever need. Follow these easy assembly instructions, it never needs ironing. Well, it takes weights off hips, bust, thighs, chin, midriff, gives you down.
Yeah, if there's not something in that song that you can relate to, that you've either done, did, wanted to do, thought you did, watched someone else do, or just smiled at, you got problems. So we're back, Motormouth Radio. Ray, Chris, and Gerard. We're here to burn the hour. We'll take the slow hand back, the back half of the show now, and then we'll enter the third half of the show later on, and we'll have some more fun.
I heard about this third half. Yeah, I've been hearing about this third half a lot.
Yeah. Well, we do that because we can never be just normal, so we got to do things differently.
And I believe these are the fastest microphones in the. I think I've heard that one way along the way. Fastest microphone.
Speed mics. Yeah.
The Ray has the fastest notebook. That is
most dangerous notebook.
Most dangerous notebook.
This is blue light. So let's go back to the phones and say, hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, guys. This is Steve from West Hempstead. How you doing over there?
Good, Steve. How you doing?
What's up, Steve?
Good. I want to graduate. Hi, Chris. I want to congratulate Gerard on his retirement. I've been by your establishment many times, and, man, it's hard to see you go, but you've done a great service to the community and to the biking world. So, again, my hat's off to you on that.
Thank you, Steve. Yep. Thanks for the call. Yeah, it's nice to hear that maybe we were doing it right. So that's good.
Hey, Ray, real quick. What was the name of that song that you just played and the artist? Do you know?
Oh, yeah, I know. It's I'll hold it up for the people to see. It's Tom Waits, and the name of the song is Step Right Up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you've never heard it.
But goodie.
Oh, if you're familiar with the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll tell people, if you just Google it, it'll come up in YouTube or one of the apps, and you got to listen to it a couple times. It's got to kind of sink in a little bit, and then you'll start repeating lines. You'll have a ball with it. So
yeah,
good stuff.
All right, so I'm not going to take up any more airtime, but again, Gerard, congratulations, man. Really proud of you.
Thank you, Steve. What bike did you have, Steve?
I never had a bike. I had friends who had bikes.
Oh, okay.
Tyree Early of Early's Transmission, he had bikes.
Sure.
But, I was always impressed with the business there, I'm a more car and heavy-duty truck guy and construction mechanic.
And that's why you listen to this show.
Guy.
Right. Okay,
yep,
great.
Exactly.
Right, great. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed your visits with us.
Okay. Thanks. All the best.
Thanks,
Steve.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right,
bye-bye.
so long.
Take care, Steve.
Very nice.
Gerard, what happened to a lot of that inventory? Did it get...
That's the next question people ask me after they say, why did he retire? What did you do with all the stuff?
What'd you do with all the stuff?
Well, we kind of knew that we were going to be pulling the plug. And so Tom and I decided, listen, we're going to stop restocking. So if we saw something we sold, we didn't necessarily need to have that. If it's something we needed for a shop job, most of the sales really in the past couple of years have been more service related than it's going to be over the counter. So the traditional stuff over the counter, oil filters, spark plugs, plug wires, that kind of stuff we were keeping stock on. But some of the other items, like maybe we didn't keep as many starter motors in stock or starter drive gears or some service repair stuff that you would normally need. Even tires, it got to the point where we were just stocking the tire sizes that we needed because they changed them constantly between 18, 19, 17s in the fronts. And so we just figured, let's just start doing special order on stuff that we need. So job would come in the shop. I'd like to look at the bike. I'd look up the part numbers, order all the stuff. Tom would order all the parts to come in, and then we'd schedule the job to be done. So this way we weren't keeping the inventory. So a lot of the inventory, we sold the inventory down from like maybe $250,000 to maybe like 120, 110, something like that. And then from there, we had a couple of local shops that were interested. We had them come in, and they kind of went through the inventory, through the shelving, picked and choose what they wanted, all the fast-moving items. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the other stuff that we felt that was good, Tom and I kept, and a lot of stuff is on eBay at greatly reduced prices because we're just looking to move it. I didn't want to throw it out, and it's good stuff. Right. And the rest of it was just really, we just said, you know what, you want all these brackets? Take all the brackets, $25, take everything. We just kind of limited the inventory so we didn't have much to worry about. But it was a planned descent in inventory so that we didn't have a lot left over at the end.
And actually, you did that. You started that years ago when you started looking at inventory. And I know you had some people come in and look and say, "Hey, why do you got all this stuff for? How much do you sell?" And you took a real sober look at it and said, "Yeah, you're right. Why do we, And I know you cut it back a lot."
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, it was time we used to have wheels and exhaust systems hanging on the wall. And
Oh, yeah.
all big dollar items. But then whatever exhaust you would have would not necessarily be the one that that customer wanted. You have that in black. You know, they have the
Yeah.
longer version of that. So whatever you had, it wasn't the one you were going to wind up selling.
Right,
So.
right.
And
No, because I'm talking about inventory because Ray is going to need some tips from you, Gerard. on
Yes,
how to
I
get,
do.
How to get
yeah.
rid of his inventory.
Well, I gave him some stuff too, so so Linda wasn't very happy about that.
Yeah, Gerard needs to go and tie Brian up. So, because now Brian was texting me last night with in that 10-pound bag of stuff, a lot of useful stuff. You know, some I brought to the shop, some I kept home, some of it I didn't need. But he sends me these pictures of all these brackets last night. He says, "Can you use any of these?" I'm like, "I can." I'm like, "Yeah." And I had Pirate Paul stopped at the shop yesterday, and we did a little work on his son's Jeep, and we were talking. I was showing him some of the hardware, and he says, "Wow." He goes, I could use some of that stuff. I'm like, I can get it for you. So Brian will be sending out more brackets.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta make it so it's organized. Ray's organized. I'm not organized. You can't come into my garage. I'm working on. That's what I'm going to do when I retire. I'm going to organize my garage.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
I
I'm
go out my garage almost, especially in the nicer weather, every day. I'm out there. Even if I'm just sitting down, I got the radio on, I got the CD player on, and I'm sorting. I have many drawer dividers. One of them, it's a little divider unit. It's divided in 3 sections, and there's number 6, 8, and 10 washers, split washers.
Sure.
6s are really small.
It is.
But because the drawer divider things lift up, they propagate underneath.
They go under it. Yeah.
I'm going to fix this. Boom, dumped them out. And I sat there. I had Tom Waits on. I put a Tom Waits CD on. I had a cigar going. I had a nice big cup of coffee. And I just sat there with a wooden pick. And I was just like, the 10s were easy because they were the bigger ones. Then the 6s and the 8s, it took me a little long. All told, I was in this for like maybe an hour and change. It wasn't a lot of time. But then I took those drawers and I epoxied the bottom so now nothing's getting under them. Now I have a drawer divider of 6, 8, and 10 washers that are exactly organized. And I found great joy in doing that because
retirement is fun, kids.
It is. It takes me back to the kindergarten. I can remember being on the floor in kindergarten and playing with the blocks. It's
sorting lock washers?
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. Just, yeah, you're just a little old.
This is what you have to look forward to, Gerard.
And also, it is a sense of accomplishment. I did something today that I'll never have to do again because I'm done with it. Yeah, I get that. I 100% get that.
Yeah. And, a lot of people have no tolerance for that. I like to sit, and I'll sit there and just sit, and I'll sort nuts and bolts, and, I guess because I have an eye for it. I have a good eye for the sizes. So it's like,
you came into the shop one day, and right by one of the benches, there was that box of 20 pounds of hardware. It was, ooh, what are you doing with that?
Yeah, I definitely have my sights on that.
Well, I could understand that. I used to have a junk drawer, and like all kinds of odd, silly stuff would go in that drawer, and you'd pick out stuff from there, and it was just like a catch-all. And then when I had a moment, not as extensive as Raymond there, but when I had a moment, I would do that. I would take like whatever the assorted nuts and throw them in the nut box, and then the Phillips heads would go in another one, and the straight screws would go in another box, and sort it out that way. But no, washers are in a washer coffee cup.
You're still in the macro version because the nuts, well, you got to sort them by thread size. And there's American is metric. Screws, well, you got straight and Phillips, but you have different sizes. They got to go in size order too, Chris. Come on, that's how hardware is sorted. So if you want to get it, you pull a drawer out, but you need the organizers to put them in. And
you saw our hardware drawers, right? We had all that Gardner Westcott hardware.
Absolutely.
We sold that. Somebody had all the hardware in the drawers. I mean, just the man hours to do that, to log all the information, the part numbers and the sizes.
On that end of it, yeah, sure.
To do that.
But you needed that. I mean, that's where I went. Now I don't know what I'm going to do because, I went to Rolling Thunder where I needed chrome hardware. My calling card has become now, when I put a carburetor on something, I get chrome flats, locks, and acorn nuts. And I just like the way that looks on it, even on a car. My Pontiac has 8 of them on the throttle bodies. It just dresses, even on the Fiat, I have chrome acorns on the exhaust header. I said, just kind of looks better than a rusted stud, kind of just dresses up a little, and it's nice. So now I don't know. Hopefully Ace Hardware I never looked, they have a great selection. I don't know if they have chrome. Because now I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to go to Tom's house and break into his garage at night, I think, because I know he's got some. I'm going to have to do that.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
No, that's okay. That's all right. That's the way
the company we used to get that chrome hardware from, Gardner Westcott,
yes,
Michigan, I think they are. They have complete cart kits as well. They're very big into chrome hardware for cars as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we get all the individual stuff from them, but you could get, they would make primary cover kits, rocker box cover kits,
Oh, I
complete
see.
engine kits, and then they'll have car kits as well. So
Right.
they have several different catalogs for what they do. So
Right.
could probably, if somebody's really interested in doing that kind of stuff, they can definitely get in touch with Gardner Westcott.
I'm going to make a note because I'm going to may do that.
So, Gerard, I can see it all now. Your name in lights. I can see that podcast where you're going to do the motorcycle show, right?
Podcast.
You're going to dispense all of this fine knowledge, this 44 and a half years of fine, upstanding knowledge and the asset to the community. And all of this is all going to be ready and willing for a podcast when?
Oh God! In the past 2 weeks, half of the motorcycle stuff has leaked out my ears. I'm not even remembering all this stuff from just 2 weeks ago. I don't know about a podcast. I've talked to a lot of people in my lifetime. I think I might want to take off from talking to people for a couple of days at least. And then
You should.
we'll think about that. So
Yeah, you do need a cool down period for lack of.
but good idea, Chris. I'll put that. I'll keep that in my hip pocket sometime in the future.
Right where it belongs.
All the other ideas.
Yeah,
that came from, right back.
Yeah, right.
I'll have you produce it. There you go.
Actually, our good friend Christian wanted to do a podcast a couple of years ago, and we were talking about it. And he goes, we can collaborate and do stuff. And he even said, we get Gerard in on this. I'm like, well, maybe not right now, Christian. So I don't know. Maybe he'll want to rekindle that because he's a big podcast guy.
I give it 6 months before Gerard starts to get itchy. Like, I got to start talking to people about motorcycles again.
That'll be as spring breaks. Okay, as spring comes in. Well, that's the thing, and in retirement, like John had said, and I've said this from my own experience, every day and week and month is a new adventure. Everything kind of, you write your own story. It is. There's no real set pattern. Everybody does their own thing.
Yeah, I found over the years, no matter what it was, I mean, we've had to relocate the business because of eminent domain.
Right.
So we've been through a lot of stuff, and eventually it just works out. So you don't fret it because it's just time wasted worrying about something that you don't need to worry about. It will work out one way or the other. So
yeah, unfortunately though, and I don't want to put a wet blanket on this, but unfortunately, when stuff like that is going on in your life, the one constant you always had was, I'll get up and go to work tomorrow, and I'll think about it. Well, now that's the thing that changed. And like with all of us, you go to work, and that's the major driving force of your week. So when that stops, it is a big deal. It really is. And not everybody deals with it well. I know some people who have not dealt with it well at all. I remember once I went on a trip with my wife when she was working years ago up to Maine, Bangor, Maine. We flew in, and wow, it was in the winter. And I was asking the guy who was taking us on this tour of the facility we were seeing, I said, gee, man, it's pretty desolate here. Like, what do people do in the winter? He goes, well, the fishing industry obviously stops, and the logging is all done. He goes, actually, don't publicize this because we have the highest incidence of domestic violence in the winter. I said,
oh dear.
He goes, yeah, the fishermen and he's like the guys, they're all home, and they're not used to being home, and they drink and they watch TV and then they beat up their wives. I was like, whoa, really? He goes, yeah, it's not. We don't like to publicize that, but I could see how that.
Good, we do. Glad you just did.
Well, you're not going to go outside and work in the yard. It's like minus 20 degrees up there. Maine is cold. So luckily we don't have that here. We can go down to the beach and actually take a walk on the boardwalk, and it's still get a nice brisk walk in. That's always good.
Yeah, there's a lot to do in Long Island. People saying, "Are you going to move upstate? You're going to move downstate?" I said, well, I've been working 6 days a week for I don't know since '74.
Right.
So it's like, I haven't really seen Long Island. I was telling Ray earlier, I hear we have like a petting zoo on Long Island and maybe even a racetrack out in Suffolk. I have to get out and see what's going on.
Sure. No, there's a lot to do. Now, the thing that I've found, our good friend Kevin, Kilowatt Kevin, he's done a lot during the week with his wife. They go out and do things. And I say, wow, really? Because I keep thinking of like the traffic. Like, you go out for the day and you lose track of time. You're having fun. Now you got to come back. And then it's like that wall of, okay, forget the LAE, then you start stitching across. Then you want to know those back roads that you learned, because
right.
the last thing you want to do is have a nice leisurely day and then be saddled with traffic. That's why a lot of times my wife wanted to go upstate and do stuff. And I'm like, I always kind of frown. I'm like, we got to come back.
Yeah,
we got to get back over the bridge. Like,
we started doing that with the bikes. Instead of driving, I would throw them in a trailer and get upstate, and then I'd load them and ride around upstate. Because coming back into the city on the bikes was always a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Let's go back to the phones in the front and say, hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
What's up, gentlemen? Been a while.
What's up? Here he is, Christian. All right.
What's up?
We thought I thought maybe if I like this happens with Gerard. I invoke his name and then he calls. So,
Oh, really?
I'm glad that worked. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I guess so. I've been so busy.
All right.
What's new?
Well, we're talking about the Rolling Thunder closing.
Oh, well, yeah, that's I don't even know what to say about that, because that kind of affects me in how I feel mentally of age, maybe.
Yeah.
Come on, you're still a kid to us, Christian. You know that.
Sorry, Christian.
Thank you. No, I mean, Orient Express, 53 years?
Sure.
Right.
Rolling Thunder, like a staple in the geographic,
a legacy,
geology, whatever. Yeah,
a legacy,
Long Island life.
And Christian, even though Christian has his own shop now, he grew up in the business, in the shops through his dad. And here's a guy who's like, since he was a toddler, was involved in this. So yeah, I could see how that would affect him a little more. Hey, don't worry. You know what, Christian? A few more gray hairs. That's all good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you feel new things when you get past a certain. Yeah, was that gold? You hit the golden, right? You hit the silver. You're established as a business. You hit the golden era.
Interesting way of putting it. You feel different things. Yeah.
Yeah, we're now dust.
Yeah, right.
The dust era.
Well, Christian's doing some interesting stuff, though.
Oh, he is.
The direction he's going.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's never ending. Like, we're still progressively changing and morphing with the industry as we go through, and how the technology's even changed. I mean, for us now with the suspension work, it's been a whole nother animal, So the engine work kind of went slow, but there's a resurgence because of the demographic that in the 50 to 60 range is trying to reconnect with the older stuff. So now we're getting more phone calls again for people looking to fix some of the older stuff, and there's no one out really there to do it.
Right.
So that's the issue.
Okay.
Well, the motorcycle industry has always been cyclical. It goes up, it goes down. It's the cycle in motorcycles, up and down, you have peaks and valleys.
Always. We've always had to ride that roller coaster, Gerard. Yeah, absolutely, because it's just always this ever-changing, trends, styles. What's the new trend this week? We've seen it. Like, as me and you remember before. That book was even a skinny book before we even had a book.
Right. It was a flyer. I just couldn't get into the big wheel stuff. That just wasn't me. The 26 inch, 30 inch.
That's another trend.
That's another trend. Yeah. I mean, it's plenty of money to make, and it just wasn't something I wanted to get into. But yeah, you're right. When the Drake Specialties was a flyer.
Yeah.
Well, like everything else, like even in the car industry, went through you go through the chopper phase, the long bike. Luckily we didn't get it as bad as Sweden, but that was everything evolves, everything old is new again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
there's always going to be guys with old bikes that want to get them running again because they're trying to recapture the youth.
Just like the old cars. That's a lot of the work that I do, is getting guys' cars running again after they've been in the garage for 30 or 40 years. It's like, I want to get this back on the road and enjoy it before I die. Like, okay, all right. Well, now you got some money. That's good, because it's going to cost you, because everything is going to be bad. But, and the older guys kind of know that going in, and they're willing to accept that. Like, I know it's going to cost a ton, but you know what? I'm in. What else am I going to do with the money? I might as well just spend it. So,
unless you're like someone like Mel Bernstein, holy cow, that's a whole other thing going on out there. But he is doing a lot of the older stuff because he refuses to do anything that's 99 and up.
Right.
So his business is getting that resurgence, and people are sending in old motors and stuff like that. And he's got every machine in there tuned and ready to go to do each job for all those generations of engines.
I love it that he has mills, full-size mills that dedicated just one operation.
Yeah, one operation, yeah.
And he makes machine guns too, which is really cool.
Well, that's, but in my youth, I was around all of that because I spent time in that shop as a kid. And as we used to go to all the gun shows and all that stuff with him in Amityville at the Legion Hall and the one at the other, they were more collectible shows, but he was already into all that
military stuff, and he had no way to play with it here on Long Island, so he was on that bandwagon with the guy from the OBI at the same time to get out of New York before it's too late.
Right.
So, but now he's buying so many hot rods, it's just crazy.
Yeah, good for him. He's got a huge military museum there too, all kinds of.
He's got to be
biggest in the country, I think.
He's got to be touching 80, right?
Got to be
at least.
Yeah, he's probably he's probably 80.
Yeah.
He's not slowing down.
No. Good for him. Hey, when you slow down, that's it. He said. So, Christian, unfortunately for us, we have to slow down now. We're going to have to run because we're going to get out of here.
Look at that. No, I should have called earlier. I looked at the clock and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But on that note, so Gerard, what are you going to do with your retired life? I don't know. I don't have any recommendations, but definitely don't sit around too long. You'll lock up.
He'll be coming out to Romeo Club meetings. Come on, I got him already slated in. He's the newest member. We got to break him in right.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out, Christian. Good to talk to you.
And for those of you who don't know, the Romeo Club is the retired old men eating out. So we do enjoy our diner runs. So
awesome.
That's it.
All right.
Thanks, Christian.
No worries.
All right. So long. Bye. All right. Very good.
Bye-bye, Christian.
So yes, we do. We are going to be hobbling out of here in a minute.
And we have, usually the last 2 minutes of the program with Gerard is the shameless self-promotion.
Right.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
What do we do?
We'll have to talk about Motormouth Radio.
Stay tuned, and we'll have Gerard on with us. Well, whoever's calling now, it's a little late. You're not going to get. We can't get you in. But Gerard would like to get you in again in the future, of course, at your leisure.
And 2 more weeks, nobody will remember me.
No, well, we certainly will. We're not going to forget you.
If you keep coming on this show, that will be the case.
Oh, stop.
We just got a text from Glenn at 203-670-4127. He said, happy retirement, Gerard. So
thank you. Thanks very much.
So the
Excellent.
Texters are out there, but it's fun. It's exciting. I think, like you said, once you get all those plates to stop spinning and you can finally back away from it all, that I hope you do. You're able to organize your garage and hopefully take care of Ray's inventory, because I'm sure he has about triple the amount of inventory you had in the store.
I'm sure.
Well, with that in mind, Chris, what do we tell the people we're going to meet out in the parking lot when we get out there?
Don't follow us home unless you're wishing Gerard a happy retirement.
Got it.
Thank you, Chris.
So for Chris Switzer, Ray Guarino, for Gerard, we thank you all for listening this week. Tune in again and check us out on, make sure you go to YouTube and like, comment, and subscribe to the damn channel, please. All right. 90.3 WHPC. Over out till next week. See ya.
See you. Bye.